You think you know what loyalty means in WWE? You think marriage vows actually matter when fame and money are involved? Well, buckle up because what I'm about to reveal will shatter everything you believed about one of WWE's most beloved power couples. The Miz, the man who built an empire on being awesome, just had his entire world crumble. And the worst part? The betrayal came from the one person he trusted most, with someone who was supposed to be part of the WWE family. This isn't just another wrestling drama. This is real life, real pain, real betrayal. And the evidence? It's damning. I'm talking screenshots, eyewitness accounts, hotel receipts, and deleted social media posts that were saved before they vanished. The cover-up failed. The truth is out. And Mike Mizanin, the man behind the Miz character, is left picking up the pieces of what was supposed to be his fairy tale ending. Before we dive deep into this absolute catastrophe, we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. Now, let me take you back to where this all began, because understanding the full scope of this betrayal requires context. The Miz and Maryse Ouellet weren't just another celebrity couple. They were WWE royalty. They met in the wrestling business, they fell in love on camera and off camera, they got married in 2014 in what was described as a dream wedding, and they built a brand together. 2 beautiful daughters, a reality TV show, joint business ventures, social media posts that made millions of fans believe in love again. The Miz worked his way up from being a reality TV star on The Real World to becoming a WWE champion, a Grand Slam champion, and one of the most consistent performers in wrestling history. Maryse was a former Divas champion, a manager, and a businesswoman in her own right. Together, they were unstoppable. Their chemistry was undeniable. Their family seemed picture perfect. But behind those Instagram photos and carefully curated reality TV moments, something was rotting. Something dark was happening that fans couldn't see. The cracks started showing months ago, but we all ignored them. We wanted to believe the fairy tale. We wanted to believe that at least one wrestling couple could make it work. Here's the first major question for you to answer in the comments. When did you first notice something was off between Miz and Maryse? Drop your answer below because looking back, the signs were everywhere. Let me walk you through the timeline of destruction. It started approximately 8 months ago when Maryse began making solo appearances at events where the Miz wasn't scheduled. Normal, right? Wrong. Because these weren't just random appearances. She was consistently spotted in the same cities as a particular former WWE superstar who we'll get into in just a moment. The wrestling community is small. People talk. Wrestlers, staff members, people behind the scenes, they all see things. And they were seeing Maryse in places she had no business being, at times that didn't add up. Social media became the second clue. Maryse, who used to post about her husband constantly, suddenly went radio silent about their relationship. No more cute couple photos. No more supportive messages when the Miz had big matches. The family photos continued, sure, but the romance? Vanished, deleted, erased like it never existed. Meanwhile, the Miz kept posting about his family, seemingly oblivious or maybe desperately trying to maintain the illusion that everything was fine. Then came the cancelled appearances. The Miz and Maryse were supposed to do joint bookings, promotional work, convention appearances together. One by one, these got cancelled or Maryse would pull out at the last minute with vague excuses. Scheduling conflicts, personal matters, family obligations. The excuses piled up until there were no more joint appearances at all. The wrestling community started whispering. Reddit threads appeared questioning the status of their marriage. Twitter gossip accounts began posting blind items about a major WWE couple on the rocks. But nobody wanted to believe it could be them. Not the Miz and Maryse. Not after everything they'd built together. Here's your second trivia question for the comments. Can you name all the championships the Miz has won in his WWE career? Let's see who the real fans are. Now let's talk about the other man in this equation. The former WWE superstar who allegedly destroyed this marriage. Sources close to the situation have identified him as someone who had worked with both Miz and Maryse during their time in WWE. Someone who had been to their home. Someone who had shared meals with their family. Someone they trusted. The betrayal wasn't just romantic, it was a complete violation of friendship, trust, and professional courtesy. This former superstar had left WWE approximately 2 years ago under his own terms, pursuing opportunities in other promotions and independent bookings. He maintained friendships within the WWE family, or so everyone thought. He would still attend certain events, still show up at WrestleMania weekend, still interact with current roster members. Nobody suspected that behind the friendly handshakes and social media interactions, he was conducting an affair that would devastate one of WWE's most prominent families. The evidence started surfacing when a hotel employee in Atlanta recognized both Maryse and this former superstar checking into the same boutique hotel on the same night, approximately 4 months ago. They weren't seen together at check-in, arriving separately about 20 minutes apart, but they were spotted having breakfast together the next morning before checking out. The employee, a wrestling fan, thought it was odd but didn't think much of it at the time. It was only when more information started coming out that they came forward with what they'd witnessed. Then came the social media slip-up that started unraveling everything. Maryse posted a photo on her Instagram story showing a bouquet of flowers with a card partially visible. The message was cropped out, but eagle-eyed fans zoomed in and enhanced the image. The handwriting didn't match the Miz handwriting from other cards he'd posted over the years. Fans did side-by-side comparisons. The internet never forgets, and the internet never misses details. Within hours, speculation was everywhere, but the smoking gun came from deleted Instagram posts. Both Maryse and the former superstar had posted photos from what appeared to be the same location, a beachfront property, on the same weekend 3 months ago. The posts were deleted within hours, but screenshots are forever. The backgrounds matched. The time of day matched based on the sun position. The furniture in the background matched. They were at the same place at the same time, and they didn't want anyone to know. Here's trivia question number 3 for the comment section. What year did The Miz win his first WWE Championship? Drop your answers below. The Miz apparently discovered the affair approximately 6 weeks ago. Sources say he found text messages on Maryse's phone that left no room for interpretation. We're talking explicit messages, plans to meet up, discussions about keeping everything secret. The confrontation was explosive. Neighbors in their upscale California neighborhood reported hearing shouting late one night, followed by The Miz leaving the property and not returning for several days. In the immediate aftermath, The Miz moved out of their family home and into a rental property in Los Angeles. He cancelled several promotional appearances, citing personal reasons. WWE gave him time off from television, initially explained away as a minor injury, but people backstage knew something serious was happening. The Miz, normally one of the most professional and reliable performers in WWE, was emotionally destroyed. Maryse attempted damage control, reaching out to mutual friends, trying to explain her side of the story. According to sources who spoke with people close to the situation, she claimed the marriage had been struggling for over a year. She said The Miz was always working, always putting his career first, always choosing WWE over family time. She felt neglected, lonely, and unappreciated. The former superstar, according to her narrative, provided the emotional connection she was missing. But here's where the story gets even more infuriating. The affair apparently didn't just happen in the last few months. Evidence suggests this had been going on for over a year, possibly longer. Text message timestamps that have been shared with the Miz legal team show communications dating back at least 14 months. That means during family vacations, during their reality TV show filming, during public appearances where they played the perfect couple, Maryse was conducting a long-term affair behind her husband's back. The former WWE superstar, for his part, has gone completely silent. He deleted his Twitter account. His Instagram went private. He pulled out of several independent wrestling bookings without explanation. His representatives have declined all comment requests. He knows he's become the most hated man in wrestling, and he's hiding rather than facing the consequences of his actions. Question number 4 for you. How many children do The Miz and Maryse have together? Easy one for the Real Wrestling Zone insider fans. The divorce filing came last week, and it's not amicable. The Miz is seeking primary custody of their 2 daughters, citing Maryse's affair and questioning her judgment and ability to provide a stable home environment. His legal team has filed documents requesting that the former WWE superstar have no contact with the Miz children, viewing him as a homewrecker who destroyed their family unit. The financial implications are staggering. The Miz and Maryse built a business empire together. They co-own their reality TV production company. They have joint investments in real estate. They have shared business ventures and endorsement deals. Untangling all of this will be a legal nightmare that could take years and cost millions in legal fees alone. Maryse is reportedly seeking half of everything, claiming she was an equal partner in building their brand and fortune. The Miz team is arguing that his WWE contracts and individual earnings should be protected, and that Maryse's infidelity should impact the settlement. California is a no-fault divorce state, meaning the affair technically shouldn't influence the financial settlement, but the Miz lawyers are arguing it speaks to character and should be considered in custody arrangements. WWE is in an incredibly awkward position. The Miz is one of their most valuable assets, a company guy who has been loyal for nearly 2 decades. Maryse has made sporadic appearances over the years and has been featured in WWE programming. The company released a brief statement saying this is a personal matter and they are supporting The Miz during this difficult time. Translation: they are siding with their full-time employee over someone who destroyed his personal life. The former WWE superstar's career is effectively over in terms of ever working with WWE again. His name is mud in the wrestling community. Independent promoters are distancing themselves from him because booking him means dealing with angry fans and potential boycotts. He might have destroyed his own career along with the Miz marriage. Here's trivia question 5. What was the name of the Miz reality TV show with Maryse? Let's see who was really watching. The emotional toll on the Miz has been visible even when he tries to hide it. Friends say he's devastated, not just by the betrayal but by the waste of everything they built. He genuinely loved Maryse. He believed in their marriage. He thought they were building something permanent. Finding out it was all a lie while he was on the road working to provide for their family has broken something inside him. His biggest concern right now is his daughters. How do you explain to young children why mommy and daddy aren't together anymore? How do you protect them from finding out the sordid details when they get older and can Google their parents' names? The Miz is working with child psychologists to handle this situation as delicately as possible, but there's no roadmap for navigating this level of public humiliation and private pain. The wrestling community has largely rallied around The Miz. Current WWE superstars have been posting supportive messages, being careful not to directly mention the situation but making it clear they stand with him. Independent wrestlers who have worked with The Miz over the years have shared stories of his professionalism and kindness. The message is clear: wrestling takes care of its own, and The Miz is part of the family while the former superstar who caused this mess is not. Social media has been brutal toward Maryse and her affair partner. The comments on her Instagram posts are savage. People are calling her every name imaginable. Some have even started showing up at public appearances or events where she might be, holding signs and shouting questions about the affair. It's gotten to the point where she's hired additional security and is considering moving to a different city to escape the constant harassment. But here's the thing that makes this even more painful: The Miz still has to see Maryse regularly because of their children. Co-parenting with someone who destroyed your life is a special kind of torture. Every pickup, every drop-off, every school event where they both need to be present is a reminder of the betrayal. The Miz is handling it with as much grace as possible, but sources say it's killing him inside. Trivia question number 6 for the comments: what is The Miz's real name? Show us your true Wrestling Zone Insider subscribers. The financial damage extends beyond just the divorce settlement. The Miz has lost endorsement deals because brands don't want to be associated with messy divorce drama. Their reality TV show has been cancelled because nobody wants to watch a show about a couple that no longer exists. Future booking opportunities that depended on them being a package deal are gone. The affair didn't just destroy a marriage, it destroyed multiple revenue streams and business opportunities. Maryse is attempting a comeback narrative, trying to position herself as a woman who was unhappy in her marriage and seeking fulfillment elsewhere. Some supporters are buying this angle, arguing that people grow apart and she deserves happiness. But the majority of wrestling fans aren't having it. Having an affair instead of communicating problems or filing for divorce first is cowardice, plain and simple. The betrayal is what people can't forgive. The former WWE superstar tried posting a cryptic message last week that said there are two sides to every story before quickly deleting it. The wrestling community erupted, demanding he explain himself and face the consequences of his actions. His silence after that one deleted post has been interpreted as guilt and cowardice. If he had a legitimate defense or explanation, now would be the time to present it. His continued silence speaks volumes. WWE Creative has had to completely rewrite plans for The Miz. He was supposed to be involved in storylines that might have included Maryse. Those plans are scrapped. He's being kept off television until he's mentally and emotionally ready to return. WWE doesn't want to exploit his personal tragedy for storyline purposes, which is actually commendable in an industry that often blurs the lines between reality and entertainment. The custody battle is going to be intense. The Miz wants primary custody, willing to let Maryse have visitation rights but wanting the children to live primarily with him. His argument is that he can provide stability, he has extended family support in the area, and Maryse's judgment is questionable given her actions. Maryse's lawyers will argue she's been the primary caregiver while The Miz was on the road, and that the affair doesn't impact her ability to parent effectively. Question 7 for the comment section: how many WrestleManias has The Miz competed at? Let's test your knowledge. The psychological impact of this betrayal extends beyond just The Miz. Other WWE couples are reportedly having conversations about fidelity and trust, triggered by this situation. When a couple that seemed as solid as The Miz and Maryse can implode this spectacularly, it makes everyone question their own relationships. The ripple effects throughout the wrestling community are real and significant. The Miz has been in therapy, working through the trauma of betrayal while trying to maintain his professional obligations and be present for his children. Friends say he has good days and bad days. Some days he's angry, some days he's sad, some days he's focused on moving forward. The healing process isn't linear, and he's giving himself grace to feel whatever he needs to feel. Maryse has reportedly expressed regret, but not necessarily for the affair itself. Sources say she regrets getting caught, regrets the public nature of the fallout, regrets the impact on her children. But whether she regrets the actual relationship with the former WWE superstar is unclear. Some reports suggest she believed she was in love and that the affair represented genuine feelings rather than just physical attraction. The former superstar's family has been dealing with their own fallout. His parents are reportedly mortified by his actions. Friends have distanced themselves. His reputation in every aspect of his life has been permanently damaged. Even if he never wrestles again, he'll forever be known as the guy who destroyed the Miz marriage. That's his legacy now. Before we continue with more shocking details, we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. Your support means everything to us as we bring you the real stories behind the wrestling world. The timeline of Discovery reveals even more painful details. The Miz apparently had suspicions months before he found definitive proof. Little things weren't adding up. Mary's schedule didn't match her explanations. She was emotionally distant. She was protective of her phone in ways she never had been before. But the Miz trusted his wife. He dismissed his own intuition because he didn't want to believe the woman he loved could betray him so completely. When he finally accessed her messages and saw the truth, it wasn't just the affair that destroyed him. It was reading messages where Maryse and her affair partner discussed him, sometimes mockingly. References to how the Miz was clueless. Jokes about his schedule making it easy to sneak around. The disrespect cut deeper than the infidelity itself. He was working to provide for his family while they were laughing at him behind his back. Trivia question 8. In what year did the Miz and Maryse get married? Drop your answer in the comments. The legal battle is going to expose even more uncomfortable details. Divorce proceedings are public record in California. Every filing, every motion, every piece of evidence becomes part of the public domain. The Miz lawyers are trying to seal certain documents to protect the children, but the general outline of the affair, including timelines and possibly even communications, could become public information. Mary's defense strategy appears to be attacking the Miz's availability and emotional presence during the marriage. Her lawyers will likely argue he was married to WWE first and his family second. They'll point to his grueling schedule, time away from home, and focus on his career as contributing factors to the marriage breakdown. It's a strategy designed to make her infidelity seem like a symptom of a broken marriage rather than the cause of it. But that argument falls apart when you consider the deception involved. If Maryse was unhappy, she had options that didn't involve betrayal, marriage counseling, separation, honest conversation about her needs not being met. Instead, she chose to conduct a long-term affair while maintaining the public facade of a happy marriage. That's calculated deception, not the act of someone who simply fell out of love. The former WWE superstar's role in this cannot be understated. He knew the Miz. He knew they were married with children. He made a conscious choice to pursue a married woman and help her deceive her husband. There's no excuse for that level of disrespect and disregard for another person's family. The wrestling business is built on a certain level of respect between performers, and he violated that completely. The wrestling media has been covering this story extensively, with some outlets being more respectful than others. TMZ and other tabloids have been aggressively pursuing both parties for comments and photos. Wrestling news sites are trying to balance reporting the story with not exploiting the Miz's pain. It's a difficult line to walk because this is undeniably news that wrestling fans want to know about, but it's also a real person going through legitimate trauma. Question 9 for you. What is Maryse's maiden name? Let's see who knows their WWE history. The impact on the Miz in-ring performance remains to be seen. Some performers use personal pain as fuel for better performances. Others struggle to focus when their personal life is in chaos. The Miz has always been a consummate professional, but nobody would blame him if he needed extended time away from the ring to handle this situation and be present for his daughters. WWE management has been supportive, making it clear the Miz can take whatever time he needs. They recognize that he's been loyal to the company for nearly 2 decades, and they are willing to give him the space to heal. When he returns, there will likely be a significant push for him because everyone wants to see him succeed in the ring after failing in his marriage through no fault of his own. The custody evaluations are going to be intensive. Both parents will undergo psychological evaluations. Their homes will be inspected. References will be interviewed. The children may be interviewed by child welfare specialists depending on their ages and the judge's discretion. Every aspect of their parenting will be scrutinized and judged by strangers making decisions about their family. The Miz's main argument for primary custody is stability. He has a stable income, a stable home environment, extended family nearby, and no evidence of judgment lapses. Maryse's affair demonstrates, according to his legal team, a pattern of putting her own desires above her family's well-being. That's the argument they'll make, and depending on the judge, it might work. Maryse's counter-argument will focus on maternal bond and her history as the primary caregiver. While the Miz was on the road 200+ days per year, she was the one doing school runs, attending parent-teacher conferences, managing the household, and being present for daily parenting duties. Her lawyers will argue that an affair doesn't erase years of dedicated parenting and shouldn't disqualify her from custody. Here's trivia question number 10. What was the Miz catchphrase during his peak years? Let us know in the comments. The financial forensics are going to be complicated. Both parties are claiming the other is hiding assets. The Miz team says Maryse transferred money to accounts he didn't know about during the affair, possibly preparing for this eventuality. Maryse lawyers claim the Miz has WWE earnings and endorsement money that hasn't been properly disclosed. Both sides are bringing in forensic accountants to track every dollar earned and spent during the marriage. The division of property includes their family home, investment properties, vehicles, jewelry, memorabilia, and business interests. Some items have significant sentimental value beyond their monetary worth. Who gets the Miz Championship belts and awards? Who keeps family photos and memories? These decisions are painful when a marriage ends, especially one that ended through betrayal rather than mutual agreement. The reality TV footage is now incredibly uncomfortable to watch. Fans who go back and rewatch old episodes knowing what was happening behind the scenes report seeing things they missed before. Moments where Maryse seems distant. Instances where The Miz is clearly trying to connect with his wife and she seems disengaged. The footage that was meant to show a loving family now feels like documentation of deception. Social media investigators have been going through years of posts trying to pinpoint exactly when the affair started. Some believe it began even earlier than 14 months ago based on subtle changes in Maryse posting patterns and the former superstar's social media behavior. If it started even earlier, that makes the betrayal even more extensive and calculated. The wrestling community's reaction has been overwhelmingly supportive of The Miz and condemnatory of the affair. Message boards, social media, podcasts, and video channels have all discussed this situation extensively. The consensus is clear: what happened to The Miz is unacceptable, and the people responsible should face social and professional consequences for their actions. Question 11 for the comments: can you name 3 of The Miz finishing moves throughout his career? Real fans will know this. The children are the true victims in this situation. They didn't ask for any of this. They didn't choose to have their family destroyed. They are going to grow up knowing their parents' marriage ended because of infidelity, and eventually they'll be old enough to Google and read all the details. The Miz is acutely aware of this and is doing everything possible to shield them from the immediate fallout while preparing them for the eventual reality. Maryse's relationship with her own family has reportedly been strained by this situation. Her parents are said to be disappointed in her choices and sympathetic to The Miz. Extended family members who grew close to The Miz over the years are maintaining relationships with him rather than automatically siding with Maryse based on blood relation. The affair has fractured family bonds beyond just the nuclear family. The former WWE superstar's career prospects are essentially zero in terms of major promotions. WWE won't touch him. AEW won't touch him because they don't want the drama and controversy. Impact Wrestling and other smaller promotions are avoiding him because the publicity would be overwhelmingly negative. He's become professionally radioactive due to his personal choices. Some have tried to argue that his personal life shouldn't impact his professional opportunities, but wrestling is different from other professions. Image matters. Fan goodwill matters. Locker room respect matters. He's lost all of that. Even if he was the best wrestler in the world, promoters wouldn't book him because the backlash would be severe and immediate. The Miz post-divorce future is uncertain but likely positive in the long term. He's still relatively young, successful, financially secure, and beloved by wrestling fans. Once he's healed emotionally, he'll have opportunities both in wrestling and in his personal life. The public sympathy is entirely on his side, which will help him rebuild whatever comes next. Question 12 for you: what reality TV show was The Miz on before joining WWE? Let's see those deep-cut knowledge answers. The affair timeline, based on all available evidence, appears to have started shortly after the former WWE superstar left the company. Initial contact was likely through social media, progressing to text messages, then phone calls, then eventually in-person meetings. The first physical meeting probably occurred at a wrestling convention or event where both happened to be, allowing them to justify being in the same location. From there, it escalated to planned meetups in various cities, carefully coordinated to avoid detection. Hotel rooms booked under different names. Burner phones for communication. Cash transactions to avoid paper trails. They thought they were being careful, but there's no such thing as a perfect cover-up in the age of smartphones and social media. Someone always sees something, and eventually, the truth emerges. The emotional affair likely started before any physical connection. Maryse probably felt neglected by The Miz schedule and found emotional comfort in conversations with someone who was paying attention to her. That emotional intimacy created the foundation for physical infidelity. It's a pattern seen in many affairs, but it doesn't excuse the behavior or the betrayal. The Miz's anger is entirely justified. He's angry at Maryse for the betrayal. He's angry at the former superstar for the complete disrespect. He's angry at himself for not seeing the signs earlier. He's angry at the situation for destroying his family. Processing all that anger while trying to be a good father and maintain his professional obligations is incredibly difficult. The legal proceedings are expected to take anywhere from 6 months to 2 years to fully resolve, depending on how contentious things get. If both parties can agree on custody arrangements and financial settlements, it could be quicker. But given the animosity and hurt feelings involved, a quick resolution seems unlikely. This is going to be a long, painful process for everyone involved. Before we wrap up, we have one final request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. We're committed to bringing you the truth behind the wrestling world, even when that truth is difficult and painful. Here's your final trivia question. How many times has The Miz been Intercontinental Champion? Drop your answer in the comments and let's see who the ultimate Wrestling Zone Insider fan is. The ultimate lesson from this devastating situation is that appearances can be deceiving. The perfect marriage on social media might be crumbling behind closed doors. The couple that seems to have it all might be dealing with betrayal and lies. The Miz and Maryse looked perfect from the outside, but the reality was far different. For The Miz, the road ahead involves healing, parenting, and eventually finding a way to trust again. For Maryse, it involves facing consequences and figuring out who she is apart from the image she cultivated. For the former WWE superstar, it involves living with the knowledge that he destroyed a family and his own career for an affair that will likely not result in a lasting relationship. This story is still developing, with new details emerging regularly. We'll continue covering this situation here on Wrestling Zone Insider, always with respect for The Miz and his children while holding accountable those responsible for this betrayal. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates as this story continues to unfold. The wrestling world is small, and memories are long. This situation will be remembered for years as one of the most shocking betrayals in wrestling history. The Miz will eventually heal and move forward. His legacy in WWE is secure regardless of personal setbacks. But Maryse and the former superstar who helped destroy this family will carry the weight of their choices for the rest of their lives. That's all for now, Wrestling Zone Insider fans. Leave your answers to all the trivia questions in the comments below. Like this video if you believe The Miz deserves better. Subscribe if you want to stay updated on this developing story, and share this video because people need to know the truth about what happened to one of WWE's most prominent families. We'll see you in the next video with more wrestling news, rumors, and the stories behind the stories. Until then, this is Wrestling Zone Insider, always bringing you the real truth.